Some of you asked me about the tomato to pepper ratio for my jollof base, which I shared a couple of days ago, right? So let me break it down quickly. For me, it is usually 60-40, but in my own case, 40% is the tomatoes and 60% are the others, the peppers, onions, and so on. So context, for example, I use about 6 to 7 large tomatoes, and then for the peppers, I mostly skip tatashi because that thing is expensive, okay? It's expensive, so I mostly go with shombo, and shombo is obviously chili pepper, okay? I use about 6 to 7 pieces, so if I'm skipping tatashi completely, I simply double the shombo, okay? So it means that I'm going to be using about 14 to 16 pieces of shombo, right? Now for the rodo, which is obviously scotch bonnet, okay, I use both the red and the green. I love peppers, okay? But the amount of peppers you can use totally depends on you and, just how much heat you like. Same thing with the garlic and ginger. I personally use half a thumb of ginger because too much can overtake the whole thing. And also for the garlic, I use about 3 to 4 cloves, so that the flavor also doesn't overpower the base. And then for the onions, I use about 2 to 3 bulbs, medium-sized onions for flavor. Again, I love onions. You don't have to use that much. And I just feel like onions also adds depth to the base, okay? For seasoning, I add adobo seasoning, I add thyme, I add curry, and 2 seasoning cubes. 1 Gino chicken and 1 Gino asun, and that's because I love the goat meat flavor from the asun one. But feel free to use whatever seasoning brand you prefer, okay? Now remember that you're still going to season the food when you are cooking, when you are cooking the rice. So don't overdo it here. Then of course go ahead, drizzle oil, mix, and then just follow the rest of the steps that I shared in that video, okay? Now to the most important part of this video, all right? And it's only the patient people that will get to watch this part. The exact quantity of base, this one I just shared, can comfortably cook about 4 to 6 cups of long grain rice. And for people who will be cooking, 1 pint of rice and all of that, 1 pint actually has about 13 cups of rice. And for that amount, you'll be needing about 3 full batches of this same jollof base, meaning times 3 of everything we listed here, okay? If I'm feeling very generous, I will show you guys, a step-by-step on how I, turn this base into an actual pot of party jollof rice, okay? So tell me my thank you in the comment section. If you have more questions, feel free to ask me. And yeah, I will see you guys on the next one, okay? Bye.